back. Sorry, I don't know what happened. It appears that the recorder froze or stopped. So let's pick up where we left off. The next question is, do there appear to be any obvious outliers? I would say no. Nothing is too obvious of an outlier. I mean, it might be, but it's not all that different. Could this data set be represented by a pie graph? Why or why not? And I would say that no, it can't be represented by a pie graph because pie graphs are categorical data and histograms are quantitative data. So even though these are each in intervals or categories, you can average them. You can add up all these numbers, and that would actually make sense to do that. So no, we can't represent this by a pie graph. So here we have a pie chart. It says how many students liked action if there were 250 student surveys. It looks like they surveyed students about their movie choices. Action is yellow over here, which is 18%. And there were 250 students surveyed. So remember, we can change that to a decimal, 0.18. If we take 0.18 times 250, that is going to give us our number. So pull your calculator out and do that right now. Do 0.18 times 250, and that's going to give us 45 right there. And how many degrees are in the action section? We can find that again because remember, there's 360 degrees in a circle. So we use that decimal again, 360 times 0.18. That'll give us the degrees of that sector, 64.8, which is A. Alright, so here we have a stem and leaf plot. It's of the number of pieces of candy, 35 students collected on Halloween night. Now the next two questions are all about this. So the overall shape of this distribution, let's look at that. So we're just going to draw that in. It looks like it's symmetrical to me. It's not skewed to one direction. It's pretty symmetrical from the middle. The median, or the middle number, well, if there's 35 students, that means that we're going to want the 18th number. And so if we go through 2, 5, so it's none of these, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th numbers are right here. So if we go back, that would be the 35. The spread of the number of pieces of Halloween candy is, well, the spread, it goes from 0, 5, which is 5, to 76 pieces. There we go. So if you want to make a graph to display the distribution of categorical data, which graphs would you choose to create? So remember, categorical data, so where we have different categories, that's usually a bar graph and a pie chart. Remember, stem and leaf plots and histograms, those are quantitative data. Number 7, find the median of the histogram of the heights of black cherry trees. So first we got to figure out how many we're talking about. Here's 3, 8, 10, 6, and 2. So if we add all those up, 18, 28 plus 6, that gives us 34. I'm just going to do that one more time. Make sure I added it up correctly. 10, 20, 26. Hang on, let me pause this and make sure I can add this up correctly. It appears I added up wrong. What we should be doing is it's 32. So if we're trying to find out the middle of 32, we're going to have the average of the 16th and 17th numbers. So if we think about that, here's the first 6 numbers, 6 plus 8. This would be the first 14 numbers, and so if we add 10, the 16th and the 17th numbers are going to be in this interval right here, which means they're going to be in between 75 and 80. So we look, oh, they're going to be between 75 and 80. So that's how we would do that. Next problems, you want to make a graph to display all 250 test scores of Chapter 1. Which of these graphs would be the best choice to use? So, you want to display these scores, and let's think about them. Are they quantitative or are they categorical? And I would say that they are quantitative. Alright? So which one of these represent quantitative data? Well, a pie chart. Does a pie chart represent it? Ask yourself that question. We could maybe represent this with a pie chart. With a bar graph, well, that'd be, if you think about it, not everyone's going to have the same percentages. A histogram would work. You'd maybe graph it, and you'd have an interval for 90s to 100s, and an interval from 80s, etc. Stem plot would be a lot of work to do, and a dot plot would be a lot of work to do. I would say that the best option would be a histogram, because then we could display it with those different intervals. What is a proper interpretation of the median or the center of a list of data? So remember, median, what is it? Well, it's the middle. So the average of the data is not always the middle. It's not the most common number. It's the halfway point where 50% of the data is above and 50% of the data is below it. That seems good to me. Let's just check the last one. It's the difference between the maximum and the minimum. No. So it is C. 10. To locate the median or the center of 46 observations, you would count up to what position after arranging the data from smallest to largest. So, remember, if it's an even number of observations, you're going to have to average 2. So that means it's not these two. And so then you got to think about it. Okay, if I have 22 pieces of data here and 22 pieces of data here, in the middle then is going to be my 23rd and my 24th pieces of data. So it's going to be the average of those two, which is C. So that's the end of our Chapter 2 review. Now you need to finish the review packet and correct it, and you're ready to take the Chapter 2 test. Thanks for watching.